So, first of all, I'm going to say it. I'm extremely happy to be here. I love this place. I came here last year and discovered it. And I don't know, I don't know where else I could meet as many people, and so wonderful to see you, and thank you very much. So, as you know, I am absolutely passionate about this digital revolution, and I want to help you understand how it works. And I would like to be able to share with you the questions that I have myself and be able to state what these are. So, what are the essential things to understand so that you know what we're talking about? The first thing is the idea of acceleration. The idea of acceleration and what is happening now. So it has taken 40 years since 1974 and 2014 to make sure that 2.5 billion people are connected by internet, and this is a pretty spectacular result. So it's taken 40 years, and listen to this. Between 2014 and 2017, 2.5 million is going to move to 7 billion. So this is a singular moment, because you're right on the cusp of a moment of acceleration in human beings' lives. This is absolutely extraordinary. Why is this? Because internet depends on things multiplying out. You're the ones who are enabling this. You've made Wikipedia. You are also using e-commerce sites every time you put on stars and you add comments and you buy something, and you're also those who have made Mark Zuckerberg rich, and this is your accounts are worth about 300 euros each. So everything is moving quickly. Robert Metcalfe said that the efficacy of a digital system is equal to the square root of its participants. So if I'm the only one, obviously, with a server, and I'm the only one with a computer, then it's not effective, because you have to buy a lot of technology. But if I've got a server and there's a billion individuals connected at the same time, then obviously there's a lot more capabilities of taking opportunities. So we're in the second part of the phase which we are entering. However, there are a lot of questions that remain. There's a debate which I think is actually fundamental. It's the whole idea of emergence of a new form of economy. And what we're seeing now, it's not new. We've still got a capitalistic economy. So the ability to concentrate capital very quickly, and the Mark Zuckerberg's wealth was been made over the past 10 years, and we can see there's a work that the Western countries are becoming richer and richer. And this is also partly because of the internationalization of markets and through digital marketing. So we've got a new form of economy. And something that seems very interesting to me is this idea that right in the beginning, which is the idea of openness, and that all technologies belong to everybody, and that they are then transposed to the world of production. I'm not going to now. The Fab Lab, for example, what are they enabling is we're able to have revolutions in terms of computers. They started off with the army and then companies, and then they belong to you. And so if we all manage to work together, everything will become localized. And we'll probably have this as well with the ideas of having open platforms. Tomorrow, Facebook, Uber And all these platforms, maybe will no longer have shareholders, but maybe can become decentralized. So I think with new technology we can do this. We've got to think about this collectively. It's essential. The second idea that I think is important and I want to raise with you is the whole progress of democracies. So, as we know it, what was in the representative model invented 200 years ago of transmitting ideas works more or less well. Today, with technology, we can enter a new dynamic, which is a model of participative democracy. So for me, democracy is not to press on a button to say yes or no, I agree with a particular law, as we can see in Switzerland. For example, we've got to think about new ideas of democracy. Do you know DTUB, for example? This is a new platform which managed to arrive to have consensuses. And people can say what they prefer, you can explain why. And in terms of the law, you should be able to do something similar. I think this is necessary and possible thanks to technology, and necessary so that we have a new forms of consensus emerging. And because there is something dysfunctional in the current models as we know them. The third thing I want to raise with you is the idea of the environment. It's an idea. We've talked about green tech. We all know that this can help with the environment, but we can create an alliance between data and the environment. Why am I telling you this? A few months ago, I met a man responsible for a program in Qatar, and he said the worst area in the world for farming. But there is the worst part of the world, but we can increase output by 60% because of technology, by using less water and fewer ways of using energy. We can actually increase production. So it would be very interesting to understand how to apply this to other areas. How can we use our collective intelligence? How can we use these algorithms for the service of the environment? So, for example, permaculture, which are laborious techniques. How can we have the best of technology in order to be able to have more harmonious cycles and stop and have much more harmonious systems? And I think we can manage to do that. The last idea, which I do think is very important, is the idea of transhumanism. We're talking about increasing humanity so that humanity becomes more intelligent, more productive, etc. This is fascinating, but I think the question really is, what's the point of all of this? What is the point? And the idea is the destiny of humanity. Is the idea of quantity and performance, is that the ultimate idea? I think it has to be an essential question. We should be asking this question now. We are quality beings, and this idea of quality that science doesn't know how to measure. And science doesn't know how to measure things like feelings, love, quality. And this is what we should be giving more credence to, so that we're not just becoming machines. And they must pay more attention to this. So this is fundamental, I think, and we must study these. And I will leave you on that note, and I'll go back and think about it myself. Thank you very, very much for listening to me.